5 or 6 different children, same woman, 8, 10 different husbands or whatever. Pretty soon you're going to have DNA cards so you can tell who you're making love to. You don't who this is. It might be your grandmother. I'm telling you, they're young enough. Hey, you have a baby when you're 12. Your baby turns 13 and has a baby. How old are you? Huh? Grandmother. By the time you're 12. You could have sex with your grandmother, you keep those numbers coming. I'm just predicting. I'm saying Brown versus the Board of Education. We've got to hit the streets, ladies and gentlemen. I'm winding up, now no more applause. I'm saying, look at the black Muslims. There are black Muslims standing on the street. Corners and they say so forth and so on, and we're laughing at them because they have bean pies and all that. But you don't read, black Muslim gunned down while chastising drug. Dealer. You don't read that. They don't shoot down black Muslims. You understand me? Muslims tell you to get out of the neighborhood. When you want to clear your neighborhood out, first thing you do is go get the black Muslims. Bean pies and all. And your neighborhood is then clear. The police can't do it. I'm telling you Christians, what's wrong with you? Why can't you hit the streets? Why can't you clean it out yourselves? It's our time now, ladies and gentlemen. It is our time. And I've got good news for you. It's not. About money. It's about you doing something ordinarily that we do get in somebody else's business. It's time for you to not accept the language that these people are speaking. Which will take them nowhere. What the hell good is Brown v. Board of Education if nobody wants it? What is it with young girls getting after some girl who wants to still remain a virgin? Who are these sick black people and where did they come from and why haven't they been parented to shut up? To go up to girls and try to get a club where you are nobody. This is a sickness. Ladies and gentlemen, and we are not paying attention to these children. These are children. They don't know anything. They don't have anything. They're homeless people. All. They know how to do is beg. And you give it to them, trying to win their friendship. And what are they good for? And then they stand there in an orange suit and you drop to your knees. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Yes, he did do it. And you need to have an orange suit on, too. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for the award and giving me an opportunity to speak because I mean, this is the future. And all of these people who lined up and done they've got to be wondering what the hell happened. Brown v. Board of Education. These people who marched and were hit in the face with rocks and punched in the face to get an education, and we got these knuckleheads walking around who don't want. To learn English. I know that you all know it. I just want to get you as angry that you ought to be. When you walk around the neighborhood and you see the stuff, that stuff's not funny. These people are not funny anymore. And that's not my brother. And that's not my sister. They're faking and they're dragging me way down because the state, the city, and all these people have to pick up. The tab on them because they don't want to accept that they have to study to get an education. We have to begin to build in the neighborhood, have restaurants, have cleaners. Have pharmacies, have real estate, have medical buildings instead of trying to rob them all. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please, Dorothy Height, wherever she's sitting. She didn't do all that stuff so that she could hear somebody say I can't stand algebra, I can't stand. And what you is. It's horrible. Basketball players multimillionaires can't write a paragraph. Football players, multimillionaires, can't read. Yes. Multimillionaires. Well. Brown v. Board of Education, where are we today? It's there. They paved the way. What did we do with it? The white man, he's laughing, got to be laughing. %50 drop out, rest of them in prison. You got to tell me that if there was parenting, help me if there was parenting. He wouldn't have picked up the Coca-Cola bottle and walked out with it to get shot in the back of the head. He wouldn't have. Not if he loved his parents. And not if they were parenting. Not if the father would come home. Not if the boy hadn't dropped the sperm cell inside of the girl and the girl had said, No, you have to come back here and be the father of this child. Not I don't have to. Therefore, you have the pile up of these sweet beautiful things born by nature raised by no one. Give them presents. You're raising pimps. That's what a pimp is. Eh? Pimp will act nasty to you, so you have to go out and get them something. And then you bring it back and maybe he or she hugs you. And that's why pimp is so famous. They've got a drink called the pimp something. You all wonder what that's about, don't you? Well, you're probably going to let Jesus figure it out for you. Well, I've got something to tell you about. Jesus. When you go to the church, look at the stained glass things of Jesus. Look at them. Is Jesus smiling? Not in one picture. So, tell your friends. Let's try to do something. Let's try to make Jesus smile. Let's start parenting. Thank you, thank you. Bono. Keynote address at the 54th National Prayer Breakfast. Delivered February 2, 2006, the Hilton Washington Hotel, Washington, D. C. Well, thank you, MR. President, First Lady, King Abdullah of Jordan, Norm Coleman, distinguished guests. Please join me in praying that I don't say something we'll all regret. That was for the FCC. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, at a prayer breakfast, well, so am I. I'm certainly not here as a man of the cloth, unless that cloth is leather. I'm certainly not here because I'm a rock star, which leaves only one possible explanation. I've got a messianic complex. It's true. And anyone who knows me, it's hardly a revelation. Well, I'm the first to admit that there's something unnatural, something even unseemly about rock stars. Mounting the pulpit and preaching at presidents and disappearing to their villas in the south of France. Talk about a fish out of water. It was weird enough to have Jesse Helms come to a rock show. This is really weird. Now, one of the things I love about this country is the separation of church and state, and although I have to say, in inviting me here, both church and state have been separated from something else completely, their mind. Mr. President, are you sure about this? It's very humbling. And I will try to keep my homily brief. But be warned, I am Irish. I'd like to talk about the laws of man, here in this city, where those laws are written. I'd like to talk about higher laws. It would be great to assume that once there's the other. That the laws of man serve these higher laws, but, of course, they don't always. I presume that, in a way, is why you're all here. I presume the reason for this gathering is that all of us are here. Muslims, Jews, Christians are all searching our souls for how to better serve our family. our community, our nation, our God. And some of us are not very good examples, despite what Norm Coleman says. I am certainly searching, and that, I suppose, is what led me here. Yes, it is odd, having a rock star at the breakfast. But maybe it's odder for me than for you. Because, you see, I've avoided religious people most of my life. Maybe it's something to do with having a father who was a Protestant and a mother who was a Catholic in a country where the line between the two was, quite literally, often a battle line. Where the line between church and state was, at the very least, a little blurry and hard to see. I remember how my mother would bring us to chapel on Sundays and my father used to wait outside. One of the things that I picked up from my father and my mother was the sense that religion often gets in the way of God, for me, at least. It got in the way seeing what religious people, in the name of God, did to my native land. And even in this country, seeing God's second-hand car salesman. On their TV cable channels offering indulgences for cash. In fact, all over the world seeing the self-righteous roll down like a mighty stream. From certain corners of the religious establishment. I must confess, I changed the channel. I wanted my MTV.